What up, ADD fam? Where we go one, we go all. So, hello, people of the world. So, you seen the video, you met John. I knew it was only a matter of time before I wound up running into him, and it did. I was a mile and a half max, probably closer between a mile and a half. The job that I went to where John's front door is. So I went there, and we had a good talk, and I haven't seen him in many years. And I never knew this, but he's got ADD. I was totally mind blown for him to tell me that. After all these years, he finally come out and told me he was ADD. He had to run something in the background to distract him while he did his work. He does coding for computers, so he's a hot shot. I mean, not a hot shot, but he makes real good money. He makes over six figures a year. So he's got $85,000 Mercedes, and so like a pool in his backyard, the biggest and best TV, and best of everything you can get. Full finished basement that we're in with a pool table, bar. His house is about 400 something thousand, and so John's got it going on. So it was a really good meet, and we talked and told me he had ADD, and my phone was overloaded. I hadn't erased. I don't keep up with it as much as I should. I had a lot of videos on my phone. So my phone, it stops recording. It won't handle no more. I got this thing maxed out, and I got all kind of stupid shit on there that I don't even need, but it's on there for, Reddit, I barely ever use. There's a couple other apps. I got Zoom on there, and these things, they kill. So I have to frequently erase my videos, and I hadn't, so it cut it short. So we talked, and we're going to get together and do another collab, and so you can get a little more backstory. And so I'm going to try to get him to help me in different ways. With this computer stuff, I'm sure he'll be able to help me spruce it up a little bit. So that was a good meet, a good deal to get to see him. Like I say, he's one of my tight buddies, and we go way back. So you'll hear a lot, insane shit I've done. John's with me on a lot of those expeditions. I believe John was with me when I almost nearly drowned in the cave. He's part of that crew too. We used to cave explore together, did all kind of crazy stuff. We used to trip on acid and go to Stone Mountain and hike it, and we've been to concerts together, tripping. We've just done, we did all kind of crazy shit together. Like I said, we go way back, and he's, he knows a lot of my childhood friends, and so, we go way back. And if you know my story, you'll know, for one, I ran into John coincidentally with my parents who went out to eat, and I hadn't seen him in decades. And so I bumped back into him, and we become boys again. I've told the story and other stories. So this is another part of this coincidences. Do I think it was a coincidence? Yes, definitely. Like I said, I went a mile to his house, and so I had to call my wife and talk to her about it. I basically had to tell her, we're not making any money today. I went to one interview, one job appraisal, and the guys didn't do it. They wouldn't take us. They said it was too much, and that's rare. That's one out of 20 out of every 50 leads. I won't get the job. So this is one of the ones I didn't get the job, okay? But I'm a mile and a half from John's house, so I have to explain to my wife, God gives you lemonades. God gives you lemons, make lemonade. So I'm making lemonade, I'm gonna suck life out, suck the juices out for all it's worth. And so what better way to do than to once again have someone back up things that I have said, and you'll hear some crazy shit out of John as well. And so that was awesome, you know. That brings me back, makes me feel good, you know. I you heard the conversation yourself. I got myself to a point where, you know, I was going overboard and wasn't a welcome around anymore. So um, you know, we stopped talking, and me and his wife, when I stopped talking, when we fell off, and we'd go back. Okay, let me explain this. So I bump into him coincidentally right at the time after I'd gone to jail for spanking my kids, and so he was there again. Him and this other guy Mike that I spoke of came into my life at a time when I needed somebody, I needed friends, and so running back into him was a, you know, a coincidence. I feel, you know, answered prayers and all that kind of stuff. You know, we were real tight. So I bump into him here again, and so I know that now I got to keep my distance for some time, because after my friend OD'd and died, it hit me. It messed me up in the head. Truthfully, for those of you that do and don't know, I had a best friend that I had met. We become real tight, and he ODs and dies, and he's at the hospital on his deathbed. He's already dead, but they've got him hooked up to a monitor, to a machine, and his mom tells me to go in there and kiss him goodbye. Bald-headed dude. I told the story. Bald-headed dude. His mom tells me go in there and kiss him. I go in there and kiss him. He's already dead. My wife's looking at me like freaked out. My wife was freaked out. I'm sitting here kissing a dead guy. He's dead, but they got him hooked up to monitors, machines that just keep his heart going, right? Just long enough for the out-of-town relatives can come and say their goodbyes. He's gone already. No brain function. He's dead, but his, you know, his chest, his heart's being pumped through by a machine. And so he was, like I said, he was already dead. And go in there and imagine seeing your best friend looking at you dead. He's already dead, you know. I've seen that a couple of times, and I happened to see it 3 times in a year. In that year, during that time frame, I saw it. Was the 3rd time that I'd seen it in a short period of time. Him, this guy he was friends with that I was in jail with, I told about that story. His friend died while we were in the jail, and another kid, this young kid, did die while we were in the jail. This all happened in a year and a half span. All 3 times me seeing dead people. Crazy, you know. So I've seen a lot, good, bad, and indifferent. So I can speak on it. And my deal with my hang-ups, these other people's, they, you know, they don't have the right to be throwing shade at no one, acting like they're better than anybody. There ain't no one in any of these kind of groups and cliques that are any better than any others. But we've got so much BS and bullshit. We've got guys, groups of guys think these guys are better than these guys, and this and that. You ain't been to prison, so you ain't gonna be in this kind of glove. Fuck all that. I got dudes that ride with me and been to prison and will and do treat me as good, if not better, than some of the guys that have been to prison. Because as my friend Harvey will tell you, there's nothing to brag about. There's nothing glamorous about going to jail. Where the hell is Chick-fil-A? There's nothing glamorous about being locked up. Nothing at all. There's so many people, and I'll have to admit, I'm guilty of it myself. I've always been obsessed with prison movies and this kind of stuff. I've always been drawn to it. But I don't watch the shit nowhere near as I used to before I had gone and spent all the time that I have. After being locked up for 5 years, you've seen enough lockup. We're not the type of guys that'll be sitting there watching that in our free time. We want to see flowers growing, just giving you, a broad thought. Us guys that have spent that much time locked away, don't envy it, don't want nothing to do with it. Do our best to put it out of our head that it ever happened and existed. There's nothing sweet and juicy about it. I'm about to do another one with Harvey. Me and Harvey did a video the other day, you see, that we posted. Well, I don't know what happened, but it could have been my dumbass. So Harvey hits me up that morning at like 8:47. I don't see this till like 4, like almost 5 in the evening, right? So I see this, I'm like, oh shit, I thought he was blowing me off, but here he is. He's already hit me up, and I just haven't seen it. So I get with him, and he gets back, and he gets with me, and I gotta go first, second, third of all. I gotta go in my basement, okay? Because I got a wife, cats, and dogs. So I can't sit in my living room and have a conversation or a video, and you're gonna hear my dogs. You even hear my dogs yapping in the video. You can hear them in the background with me and Harvey. So I got dogs in the living room, cats upstairs, and my wife. She don't want to hear 90% of this, right? So, Harvey calls right back with the, with the information, and I'm grabbing. Now I've not even thought about we're gonna do this, right? So I've been on my tablet all day. I've been half-ass, I've been half-ass charging everything. Not good enough. And so my phone's now not on its last leg, but it's at like 30-something%. I'm not prepared. I grabbed my chargers, both my chargers, and another extension outlet. Because like I said, haven't even set up for this, and so we're moving in a few months. So I don't know that I wanted to set up an office or anything yet. I've known this for some time, so I'm waiting till wherever we move to set up a new office. It doesn't pay or make sense for me to have an ADD, whatever word I'm looking for, space, domain, what have you. So, Harvey, me and him did the video, but Harvey's thing didn't have the sound. So I didn't get put out on his channel yet. So shout out to you, Harvey. I'm on it. We're going to do it. So me and Harvey need to get back together. And even people have complimented that I asked the right questions. I said the right things. Thank you. Shout out to you, buddy. That's good stuff. That's good shit. We're doing ADD. We're doing it big. I'm not coming short with it. I'm hoping, dreaming, and praying right here, and putting all the energy towards this shit. It's gonna happen. It is happening. These people don't just fall out in the sky for no reason, okay? I didn't get put a mile and a half today from John's house and have a job that wasn't even, that didn't pay. So it was a dry run, in other words. I travel across town and go do this job, and so I don't get it. So like I said, it's very, very rare. So it happens to be a mile and a half from John's house. If I would have got the job, I wouldn't have had time to go to John's house. So these things happen for a reason. I run into Will the other day. I've done a video on Will. Everyone that I speak on will come to pass if they're not dead. I hope and pray to make things like The Rock and what's his name, Rick Ross. I hope to get a hold of my boy Big E one day and go see Rick Ross. That's been on me big time lately because how big he is, and that I had the chance to go meet him, and I fouled it up. So this is what we're shooting for. This is what we're doing. ADD live, ADD straight up, and no damn Chick-fil-A in this pack. No more bad energy being wasted towards guys that don't deserve it. So pass it along. We moving strong. We building our squad. My squad's growing. I'm growing. I may not have much, but I'm the little guy in the pole, but I'm on the pole now. I'm on the field. I may be one of the smallest guys on the field, but I'm in the game now. I'm in the game because I'm in the game. ADD, fam, squad. What else can I tell you? That's about it, pretty much. What else? Cool shit. I tried not to bore people with semantics and shit that's not interesting. So you're very rarely going to hear me just ramble on some dumb shit, like some people that I know, but no names. And what else? What can I drop y'all with something? I always like try to leave you with a message and drop some kind of knowledge on you. What could it be? What could be the knowledge for the day? Let me think about it. Give me a minute. For those of you who do and don't know, I've spoke on this. Our words are curses. Our words are curses on us. Every single one. Our words are were transferred from Latin. Well, to come into Latin, it was you know, in witchcraft and all that kind of shit. This is what our words are. They're curses and spells. Is what I was trying to say. There's spells on us. Okay, I already said it. You could dissect words like recreation to recreation. What's the other one? We have 60 seconds in 1 minute, 60 minutes in 1 hour, 24 hours in 1 day. Do the math. 60, 60, and 24. If you figure that out, you'll break it down. You can see it's 666. There's my message for the day. Stay DD. Holler.